There's a deck in TCG Pocket that has gotten such good results that even the Pokemon Company themselves is sharing the secret. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So I'm here on the official Pokemon website where they recently posted this article sharing one of the current best decks in Pokemon TCG Pocket since the new Space-Time Smackdown packs dropped. And that deck would be the Darkrai EX Magnezone deck. It says here a Darkness-type Pokemon and a Lightning-type Pokemon in the same deck. It's a shocking pair that'll stick with you. Darkrai EX debuted as part of Pokemon TCG Pocket's Space-Time Smackdown expansion, and it's since caught the attention of battlers everywhere. And this is actually very true because it's actually getting results in some of the Ursidae Pocket Weekly tournaments, which, if you are unaware, those are actually some of the biggest TCG Pocket tournaments that are being run. But they go on to say with its Nightmare Aura ability, the Pitch Black Pokemon can sit safely on the bench while it chips away at the HP of your opponent's active Pokemon. Which, yeah, Darkrai is really annoying like that. Its ability literally lets you hit the active Pokemon on your opponent's side while it just chills on the bench. But while fellow Space-Time Smackdown debutant Weavile EX and Dredagon both make for great partners, in an electrifying development, Magnezone has given Darkrai EX decks an invigorating jolt as an additional attacker. Which is true, because at first people were running a Weavile and Darkrai deck, and that was just real annoying. But recently, this Magnezone Darkrai deck has grown in popularity. So the deck list for the Magnezone Darkrai EX deck that they're sharing here on the Pokemon website is 2 Darkrai EX, 2 of each of the Magnezone line, so 2 Magnemite, 2 Magneton, and 2 Magnezone, 2 Druddigons, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus, 1 Leaf, 2 Pokeballs, 1 Pokemon Communication, and 2 Giant Capes. So this deck is definitely taking advantage of all of the new additions that we got in our recent expansion, including some of the tools like the Giant Cape, or even just some of the new items like Pokemon Communication so that you're able to find cards easier. They do also go into depth about what you want to do in order to actually successfully use this deck. So it says here, the game plan. You'll want to spend most of the game taking advantage of Darkrai EX's Nightmare Aura ability, which does 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon whenever you attach a Darkness energy to it from your energy zone. So it literally just needs 1 energy, which is crazy because literally it just sits there and does 20 damage and it doesn't even have to be in the active spot. Use this ability to chip away at your opponent's active Pokemon while Darkrai sits safely on the bench gathering energy. While Dredagon is your active Pokemon, its Rough Skin ability does 20 damage to the Pokemon that attack it and damage it. With this combination of Pokemon alone, you can quickly stack up damage in the early game without launching a single attack. So Dredagon is being used in the same way as kind of like a shield in order for you to stack your energies on whatever's on your bench. I mean, granted, for Dark Prism, it does only do 80 damage, so Darkrai doesn't have like the strongest attack for 2 Darkness energy and 1 colorless energy. But I think the reason why it's so popular is literally because it only needs 1 energy in order to do chip damage just like consistently throughout the game. And then like they mentioned, with the chip damage from Rough Skin on top of that, you're able to chip away at some of like the bigger HP Pokemon that are more annoying to deal with, especially with the addition of Poke Tools like Giant Cape, which increase HP. So these little chip damage decks are definitely growing in popularity due to the addition of Poke Tools. They do go on to kind of echo what I just said about it not having the greatest attack. It says, despite its high HP though, Darkrai is not quite a powerhouse with its Dark Prism attacks modest 80 damage. But this is where Magnezone comes in as an additional attacker. So not only does Magnezone's Thunder Blast attack deal a massive 110 damage, but it also doesn't require Energy Zone attachments in the traditional sense. You can use Magneton's, the one from Genetic Apex and the Pikachu packs, Volt Charge ability to attach energy to itself once per turn before you evolve it into Magnezone. This will keep you rolling in terms of energy attachments, and you won't even need to include in your energy zone when building this deck. With this strategy, you'll only need to include Darkness energy in your energy zone, so keep that in mind. This energy acceleration allows you to build up multiple attackers at once while doing incremental damage without needing to attack. That's pretty cool. So you don't even need a mixed energy deck because, as they mentioned, Magnezone is able to generate its own energy with its ability. So all you need is the darkness energy, so you can attach it to things like Darkrai or other dark type Pokemon, while also taking advantage of Magnezone's much more aggressive attack. They then go on to say if the game plays out in your favor, your Druddigon should be able to tank a couple of hits before being KO'd or needing to retreat to the bench, and your Magnezone can clean up with the knockout hits. If your Magnezone gets KO'd, you can earn your next KO with another fully charged Magnezone or Darkrai EX. Your opponent might try to recall their damaged Pokemon to the bench, but you can always boss them back into the active spot with Cyrus. This is a very, aggressive deck, I feel like, but it's definitely more of a long game play as well, just because you are trying to basically stall long enough so that you can set up for these bigger attacks from Magnezone or be able to do enough chip damage with Druddigon as well as Darkrai. But obviously it's a little aggressive because you can literally force your opponent to put back in a Pokemon that they're trying to stop from being KO'd with the use of the newly added Cyrus cards, which are a nightmare for me personally. I have been personally victimized by Cyrus. It's not a fun time. But like I mentioned, this deck is definitely growing in popularity and it's getting some pretty good results during Percy's Pocket Weekly tournaments. In the Pocket Weekly number 14, you can see that it took 7th, 8th, 9th, as well as 10th place. So there is 4 of them in the top 10, and it looks like for the most part the composition of the decks is the same as the one that was shared on the official Pokemon page. There was also 2 Darkrai Magnezone decks that did make it into the top 10 in the Pocket Weekly number 15, one of which was in 5th place, so it did make top 5. However, it looks like this deck did add in a couple of different Pokemon like Kangaskhan, as well as a Giovanni. But I would love to hear what you guys think about this deck, and if you think it'll continue to grow in popularity, or if you think the tides will turn as they typically do in TCG Pocket. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, I kindly suggest that you consider subscribing so that I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you were already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.